This is Omar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. It's been absolutely ages since the last one, Frank Warren.
It is. How you been? I haven't seen you for a long time.
Yeah, all good, thanks. We are approaching fight night now. Just had the face-offs between Avanesian and Metz and Shiraz and Smith. Let's discuss the main event first. Avanesian and Metz, what are you expecting, Frank?
I think it's going to be a good fight. I mean, he seems quite confident. Askari seems very much up for it, and he's in with a guy ranked number 2 in the WBC. Unfortunately, that fight with Ortiz didn't come off, and a couple of other fights we tried to make with the opposition. So we are where we are, but it's I think it's a sixth defence of his European title. This guy seems fairly confident, so we'll see on the night. But look, he's got to come out and do the business, David, and he's been unbelievable up to now. When you look at his performances, he's gone in as an underdog in all these fights and upset the odds. And maybe this fella coming in as the underdog feels he can do the same.
Well, David, of course, justifiably so, is very confident. And speaking to him just now, he wants to move on after this fight from European level. He just wants a direct shot to a world title, Frank. So with Virgil Ortiz pulling out of this Saturday, where does that leave that situation with Errol Spence and the WBC belt and Avanesian?
Well, he's got, obviously, after Saturday, provided he comes through okay, we'll speak to the BC and see where we are with him. But he needs a big fight. But you can't overlook Saturday night. You know, that's could be a potential bump in the road. Fella's undefeated.
Now, looking at your card, the likes of Hamzas Shiraz and a good fight with Jez Smith's first fight, middleweight. You got Euphoria and Chamberlain, which is a very good fight. You got Dennis McDonald on, Sam Noakes on. The card looks strong, Frank. I've spoke to you about this before, but people will heighten this again during fight week. The criticism for this first card that you do, I know you did a card last week, but your first main Saturday night fight night has come from the main event. So do you just want to justify to the viewers again why Avanesian's fighting Metz?
He's fighting because that's the only opponent we could get for him. That's the fact. That's what it is. You know, that happens in boxing. He's an avoided fighter. I mean, you know for a fact we offered Conor Ben extremely good money to fight him. Ortiz unfortunately didn't want to go for it, so he's avoided. And you can understand why he's avoided. But like he said, you know, Askari, he said that he hasn't avoided him. He wants to take the opportunity. So we'll see what happens. And you know, it's a good, strong card. There's some really good fights on the card.
Frank, we've got Sam Noakes and Mark Chamberlain on this card, both in decent fights as well. But are we on a crossroads here between the pair of them?
I think these two are going to wind up fighting each other, providing they keep winning. There's no doubt about that. They've got to keep winning their respective fights. I wouldn't do it straight away, and we had no problem matching guys in our camp under our promotional umbrella. We've done it on numerous occasions, and I'm quite sure maybe sometime by the end of the year, if they both keep their winning ways, it'll be a fight to be made, and it'll be a cracker between the two. And they're two really good, exceptional young talents.
What's Dennis McCann's fight like in terms of a test?
It is a test for him. You know, it's the youth title he's fighting for. You know, he's still a young man. He's still, you know, he's still got a bit to do yet as far as developing, I think, physically, getting his man strength, and I think also, you know, he needs more experience. But the more experience he gets, the better fighter he's going to become. And I expect to see him, again, providing he wins, in some big fights by the end of the year. He's very capable. He has massive potential, but you've got to make the right fights at the right time.
You said that there, massive potential. I know you've been backing Dennis McCann from day dot, Frank. We've got a really good fight coming up between Liam Davis and Andrew Kane, which you announced, which is coming up in April. Yeah. Now, could that be a potential fight for Dennis McCann, the winner of that?
Yeah, I mean, we're sort of blessed with some brilliant talent at that weight division, some brilliant talent, and there's some great fights there to be made between all of them, and we'll certainly look at that.
Hamzas Shiraz, middleweight debut against a confident talking Jez Smith, a fully prepared Jez Smith as well. Let's quickly address Hamzas' New Year deal. Just talk to me about why you renewed with Hamzas Shiraz.
Because I believe in him, and I believe he's an exceptional talent. You know, I think he was struggling at the weight in his last couple of fights. Although he did what he had to do, I think he's going to be more comfortable at middleweight. I mean, you've got to look at the size of him. He's a big middleweight still. But I think he's going to be far, far more comfortable, and I honestly do believe that he's going to have a good fight with Jez. I mean, there's no way that he comes to roll over. He is a natural middleweight, and he's fought higher than middleweight. He's a tough guy, and as he said himself, it's the first time he's had a proper chance to prepare in a camp for a specific opponent and not be brought in at the last minute. So I think this is going to be a good test for Hamza.
Now, I know you addressed this Bradley Skeet situation in the press conference with Dev, but just for the viewers on here, so the situation with that was you offered Bradley Skeet a rematch on a Queensberry show against Hamza Shiraz, but obviously he announced his retirement, so Hamza said best of luck to Bradley in his retirement. I'm sure you share the same sentiments, Frank?
Absolutely, that's his decision and I respect his decision. In the meantime, Hamza's got to get on with his career, and as I say, as we'll repeat myself, he's now gone up a weight division.
Well, tune into BT Sport this Saturday night for all of that, and also Royston Barney Smith's debut. Very excited about him, I know.
I am. He's an exceptional young amateur. He's a baby, obviously. He's 18 years of age. He's doing what Ricky Hatton did. He's doing what Amir Khan and what the great Nassim Hamid did, turned pro at 18. He's got a good record. I think he had about 50 fights as amateur, won 45 of them. 2 times European gold medalist. Champion. So I'm expecting him to be a real fantastic and exciting addition to the professional ranks. He's still a baby, got a long way to go. We put a little bit of pressure on him, but he seems capable of the pressure, and for him Saturday night I think is going to be a special occasion. At least I hope it will be, and I think the fans are going to like him. I think it'll be a good journey for him.
Okay. Now, Frank, we last spoke on Tuesday where you told me that you had put your application in for the local authorities to grant you 100,000 people at Wembley for Fury White. Has there been any update on that, please?
We haven't got anything back from them yet, so we're still awaiting that, but it's sold out. I think, as I said, I don't even know if they're still there. There was a few platinum tickets, but I don't even know if I don't know if they've gone or not, but there was only a few left anyway. It's a sellout, and quite rightly it should be. Homecoming of Tyson Fury after 4 years.
I haven't actually really asked you about how you think the fight goes. I've talked to you about the business side of things a lot in the last few weeks at your office, but I actually haven't got your thoughts on the fight. Tyson Fury v Dillian Whyte, April 23rd. How does that play out?
Look, fights like this, anything can happen. Guys get themselves up for it. It's a great opportunity for Dillian Whyte. He's been waiting, over 1,000, 1,200 days for this opportunity. Well, now he's got it. So he's got his platform. He's in with the best heavyweight of his generation, by far. How do I see the fight going on? I only look at the skill sets. I look at the skill sets of Tyson. Tyson's a fighter that can box. He's shown in recent fights he can stand and trade. He can punch. He can take a shot. He's got good recovery powers. Got fast hands, got great footwork, he switch hits. So he's a nightmare for anybody, no doubt about that. You look at comparable fights that they both had, which opponents, probably Derek Chisora is the one that comes to mind. Tyson fought him twice and beat Derek twice, and the last fight time he fought Derek, he beat him quite convincingly, stopped him. And I look at the fights with Derek and Dillian, and I felt that Derek won the first fight, but the second one he was behind and he pulled it out of the bag and stopped him. He can punch. He's got a good left hook. There's no doubt about that. But I just feel that I don't think anybody can live with Tyson Fury at the moment. I really mean that. I think Tyson Fury is a very, very special heavyweight.
Do you think he knocks out Dillian Whyte?
I think he'll get to him, and I think he'll stop him.
Any updates on Joe Joyce?
Joe's will be fighting in May. We reports back that the broken wrist is healed, and he'll resume sparring soon. So once he does that, then we'll have a date for him to fight.
Could that potentially be a pay-per-view fight?
It depends who he fights. That's the real thing, Umar. Depends what sort of fight he's in. But most important thing is at the moment to get him to say that he's ready to go, and once he's ready to go, we can make the fight for him.
I know you announced a date for Echo Westerman, so you've got some things bubbling up in the welterweight division.
It's a good fight
against Tetley.
Yeah, that's a very good fight. I like that fight, and I like Westerman. He's something a little bit special. He sort of just slipped under the radar a bit, didn't he? He's a bit like Zach Parker. He's another one like that, but he's a bloody good fighter, quality fighter, and I'm expecting some big things of him.
Well, you got the British champ with him, European champ with David. Do want to get your thoughts on the fight that Matchroom announced with Conor Ben with Chris Van Heerden for April 16th. Your thoughts on that matchup?
Yeah, it's a good matchup. I think a better matchup, though, would have been Avanesian.
Well, there you go. And my last question to you, any updates regarding Demetrius Andrade and Zach Barker? Are we going to get an official confirmation soon?
We were trying to get him in this week and next week, but unfortunately his passport had expired. So he's applied for a new passport. As soon as he gets it, we'll get him over and we will have him, we'll do the press conference. It's a shame. There's nothing sinister in it. It's, it's all genuine. And we're looking forward to seeing him. And I'm looking forward to that fight. That's a really good fight and a great opportunity for Zach. And I say, hopefully next week we can get them together.
Frank Warren, thank you very much for your time on IFL TV again, and I think Dev's waiting for you, so I better let you go.
All right, mate. All the best to you.